Today, I'm going to talk about the fact that recovery from long COVID and chronic fatigue syndrome absolutely sucks. So, it can be quite tempting to look at what I've been talking about and what I've been sharing over the past few months and see only the roses. I think I have shared a lot of positives. I've shared a lot of the wonderful things I can do now, and I really have such a rich and deep appreciation for life. And I feel so incredibly blessed to have been at this horrendous position just a year ago and be at a position now where I am just so in love with the life that I live again. However, it can also be very easy for me to lean into this more and more and more. And I wanted to take this video to be super candid because I think it is important to reflect on both sides of recovery as well. So it's very easy to me for me to want to lean into this positivity. And I do try and lean in and be positive. And I think people appreciate that. And it's also easy for me because the experience that I had last year was not just a kind of a period that I'd rather put behind or a little bit of a down period. It was full blown anxiety ridden paranoia with just intense physical pain, hospital stays, and just the weirdest and most horrendous symptoms I could ever imagine. So it's very much easier for me to want to lean into the positives, to want to lean into the here and now, where life is good, where life is enjoyable, and I'm seeing the fruits of my labor, so to speak. But I think it is important for me to reflect on this, and this is for people who I'm working with. This is for people who are going through this process, and this is for people who may be a part way there as well. Because I think it is important to be candid and transparent about the kind of journey and the experience that I've gone on the last year. So in the last year, I've had days, I've had weeks, I've even had months where nothing has gone well. Every day was a grind, was a struggle. Just getting through to the next day was tough. I would have just days full of rumination. I would spend every waking minute just in this constant loop in my brain of how am I going to get better? How am I going to get better? Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Is there something physical wrong? Is there something different? Is there something I'm missing? And I'd spend hours ruminating on this. It would just to a degree where it would literally hurt my brain because I would be just ruminating so hard that it became almost physical. I'd spend hours diving into sensations. I'd feel these sensations and be so fearful of them because they were so visceral. And I would find it almost unbearable to sit with them for a minute, like a second, sorry, let alone a minute. I also spent hours and I've spent days probably in total reasoning with ChatGPT, reasoning with Google, and trying to understand how these very physical symptoms, there must be something else there. There must be something else that is going on. And I questioned whether I was kidding myself about this emotional processing stuff. And I spent days and weeks and months going over and revisiting these concerns time and time and time again. I also pondered over psychiatric drugs. I pondered over doing a surgery for CCI. I pondered over various different therapies, different medications for these incredibly physical symptoms. This pressure in my skull, the base of my spine, this just pulsating pain that was going down my brainstem into my chest. And it wasn't like I always knew that emotional processing was the way out. That would be a lie. I questioned that time and time again. I had many moments of doubt. And even when I was feeling real physical shifts following somatics, EMDR, I still doubted and I still questioned and I still was trying to reason and figure how this incredibly physical symptoms could be presenting in this way. Um, I talk a lot about positivity and maintaining a um, that hope for going forward. But I spend a lot of time being incredibly agitated by people who would talk about a new profound appreciation of life. Like I'd be like, fuck that shit. Like I I just want to not feel like I need to kill myself. And it'd piss me off. I'd hear people and I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like I just want to feel different. I want to feel okay. Um So it wasn't like I always felt completely positive and great. And this is something I talk about a lot now, actually, because I think it's really important to. There is this difference between feeling what you feel in an authentic way versus this false positivity. And I had this interaction with one of the girls in our group, and she talked about, I've had a rough week. I've had a really rough week, and it's been a struggle. But I'm grateful that I'm better. I'm grateful that I'm back of where I am. And I think this is very common in a lot of people who suffer with these conditions. You will experience this false positivity, this need to perform in any circumstance and in anything that goes through your mind. You'll need to counter it with a false positive. And I say, fuck that. You feel bad, and I feel frustrated that I feel in this way, and I feel like I've had a bad week, and it's fucking shit, and it's so annoying, and it's so frustrating, and it makes my blood boil, and that's okay to feel that. And there's a difference between that and ruminating and wallowing. So there's a difference between feeling bad and being okay with the fact that I can feel bad versus ruminating and reflecting on what's been going on. So I also had, going back to the last year, I've also had moments of just weird spasms and weird vibrations, and my body feeling like it was doing bizarre things that I had no idea what was going on, whether this was good, whether it was bad. I unearthed trauma that I thought was totally irrelevant. I remember going to EMDR, and we getting a bit of a lay of the land, and went into some of the kind of prior to long COVID, these kind of instances, like, no, let's get back to the stuff that matters. I've got no big T trauma. And we unearthed things that I never realized had such a hold on me, and physiologically it was stuck in me as well. Um, I had hours where I had how I say hours, I had months where I generally thought I had schizophrenia, and I was worried that I was developing schizophrenia. And I would it's quite a funny story, actually. It's funny now, but near where I live, we have there's like a balcony nearby, and on that balcony, one of the neighbors has a silver jaguar. Sounds stupid, like a cheetah type thing, like a decorative thing. It's really bizarre. Like, I don't know why they have it. And I remember multiple times I would walk past this thing, and I would look up, and I was in such a panicked mode that I would be like, oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I think there's a silver cheetah. Oh my god, I can't. And they would send this wave of panic, and only after I would be like, no, there is literally a silver cheetah there, because it sounds so ridiculous. And that would be it, just send waves of shock and waves of panic through my body. So I just wanted to share this today, because the long and short of it is, recovery is brutal, and I'm not gonna beat around the bush about that. It's long, it's grueling, and it sucks. It's so unpleasant. It is just deeply unnerving, and you'll doubt whether you're on the right path time and time again. You'll have success, and then you'll be thrown back. You'll have another success, and you'll be thrown back even more. And every time you'll be questioning, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right things? Do I need this other treatment? Do I need this? Do I need that? Am I ever going to recover? All of these things will come up, and they will come up time and time and time and time again. And I want to be honest about that, because it is brutal. It's so tough. Um, so I'm not going to bullshit you about the journey, the journey to where I've got today, but I also won't bullshit on the destination as well, because I think when you hear about people talking about how they've had these profound shifts and this change in how they see things, and this like how they misunderstanding of life, how it was before, it's true, and it sounds so hippy dippy when you hear it beforehand. You're still in the trenches, but this newfound richness and depth to my experience, and this appreciation of life, um appreciation of the people in it, of how my thought patterns have changed, and how I interact with the world. It's so good. It's so good. And yeah, I just love my life. I love what I do. I love how I interact with the world. I love how I interact with people, and I love the things that I can do. I love the things that I see. Um, it's wonderful. So I wanted to share that today. I hope you take it in the way that I hope it is received, which is that yeah, I'm being honest about this journey, and it is a tough old ride, and hopefully a reminder of that will keep you going whilst you're in the trenches. And I think these reminders that you're not going insane, you're on the right path, are critical, because without it, you it's so easy to go astray. Um, but also the other side is worth it, and it's so good. So big love to you all. Hope you're doing well and stay healthy.